Hey guys, today's video is pretty near and dear to my heart, mostly just because I've struggled with this a lot in the past and right now, and I have a feeling a lot of other people struggle with this as well. I'm going to share with you a little about my story struggling with self-image, as well as some of the things I've been learning and others have been telling me as I've begun to overcome it. Hey guys, Kalli Grace here, teaching you how to abound in hope and abide in love. Self-image is something that I think a lot of people struggle with in today's world because of social media and because of how appearance is so heavily stressed. I think girls are often the ones who struggle with it the most, but nowadays I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of guys do as well. My story with self-image didn't really start until I was about 10 years old, when I went through a chubby stage. My mom had recently gotten remarried and we had moved to a whole new city, and I had to accustom to new school, new friends, and food became sort of my comfort. During this time that I was starting to gain more weight and I was kind of holding on to my baby fat, my sister Kimberly, she was in the height of her beauty. I still think she is so beautiful, but during high school she looked like a model. She was crazy gorgeous. Although I love my sister so much, she is so dear to my heart, this was really hard for me. She was beautiful and I felt like I was not. At family gatherings, my family would make comments about how beautiful she was and how skinny she was and how amazing she looked, and I wouldn't receive any of those compliments. And I realized that if you were more pretty, if you were more beautiful, you received more attention and, in my mind, more love. So I began to associate self-image with love. The prettier I was, the more love I would receive. And honestly, in this world, it's sadly true. There are whole Instagram accounts of girls who are famous just because of their bodies, and they get hundreds and thousands of compliments of their bodies, and it doesn't reflect their character at all. While I was going through this chubby stage in middle school, I was bullied for my looks. A lot of other kids would make comments about how I looked and how much I ate, and it really struck on my self-confidence. One day I decided that this was it. I was going to start eating healthy and I was going to start exercising and start changing this. So I joined soccer and cross country and I started working out a lot, and my mom and I started eating a lot more healthy. No processed foods, all healthy foods, no soda, and all of those other things. And by high school I was pretty happy with my looks. I did have to wear braces sophomore to junior year, and that just kind of sucked, but I did feel a lot more confident about my body. I feel like I actually fit in. While I was having my braces, I thought as soon as my braces would be off, I would feel enough. I would feel like I was beautiful enough. But when that happened, I still found critiques in my body that I wanted to be fixed. I still felt like I could always be improving and that I still wasn't beautiful enough. So junior year, I started running cross country, and if any of you have ever run it or know about cross country, you know that you push yourself a lot and you burn a lot of calories. Even though I was exercising 2 to 3 hours a day, I would still eat salads and just in general not enough calories to recompensate for how many calories I was burning. So during cross country season, even though I was getting very fit, I lost a lot of weight. I remember one day I stepped on the scale and it read 113 pounds. And I'm almost 5'9", and usually it's about 5 pounds per inch. So if you calculate that, if I was 5'5", it would be like I was 93 pounds, which is very skinny. However, while I was going through this and while I reached that weight, I didn't think I was that skinny. I felt like there were still parts of my body that needed to improve and that I needed to lose weight. Before and after cross-country season, sometimes I would even skip meals and exercise for an hour or two more than I should. I didn't need to exercise that much, but I thought it would help me be more beautiful and it would help my confidence. And it did to some extent, but I feel like I was filling a cup with a hole in the bottom no matter how much stuff I filled in by gaining more muscles and getting skinnier and skinnier and eating healthier and healthier and having a good hair day. I felt like I still was just never beautiful enough. Looking back, I realized how much this problem was more my mind than my body. I saw my body as this problem that was never ever going to be able to be fixed, and there were all these different things I feel like I always needed to improve on. I would look in the mirror and only notice the imperfections in my body and myself. I wouldn't notice how good my hair looked or how beautiful I really was. While I was going through this, I would never have called it anorexia because I thought I had it under control and I thought it was fine, and I would see the movies about it and those girls were skin and bones, and I was not like that. But looking back, I reduced my meals to the point where I ate as little as possible, and sometimes would go to bed hungry and starving. And I did this all because I thought that's what you had to do. I thought that's what you had to do to be beautiful, and it was a huge lie. Fast forward to senior year, when I started to feel a lot more confident about my body. I gained about 20 pounds and filled out, and I was very confident in myself. I felt like I was beautiful. But even though, looking back, I think I was in one of my height peaks of beauty, I still would look at the critiques of my body and the things I could fix. I would be sad on the days I would have a bad hair day, or if someone didn't compliment my outfit. And I was still so outwardly focused and so dependent on other people for my confidence. For a while, I did feel like I was in control of my body, and like I said, I felt like I was confident. I didn't really think about my self-image as much anymore, and it wasn't something that I was constantly worrying about it. I ate when I was hungry, and I felt good about myself. However, as many of you know, I was diagnosed with Lyme disease this past July. When I was diagnosed, I was just expecting a couple weeks, maybe a month of treatment, and then I would be better. I wasn't really expecting much changes in my body. However, I started to gain quite a bit of weight. I asked my doctor about this, and he said it's very common to gain a lot of water weight as your body is under intense healing, because there's so much stress in your body that your body holds on to water, because water helps you heal and helps give you more nutrients. But I started gaining even more weight, and as that was happening, I was getting more and more stressed about my body and how it was changing and how I was losing so much muscle because I had to lay around to heal and rest. So now, 4.5 months later than the day I was diagnosed, I've gained 45 pounds, and that is crazy for me to say out loud. It still feels like I'm in this nightmare and I can't get out of it, and I never thought I would be where I am today. And the main reason I'm making this video is because of how much I'm struggling with it today, and how much I've learned but also had to really choose over my emotions and ask other people what they think and listen to what God has been telling me. It's been really hard for me as I've noticed my body changing, and as my old clothes aren't fitting anymore and I have to buy new clothes. But my doctor said that as soon as I'm healed from Lyme disease, all the water weight will just come off. So I'm waiting patiently for that to happen, but in the meantime I need clothes. So it's just this huge annoying thing. If any of you know me well, you know that I love health, I love exercise, and I love nutrition. I love taking care of my body. During all of high school, I worked out 5 to 6 days a week. I ate very healthy. About 4 years ago, I gave up sweets for Lent, and since then I haven't eaten any dessert, sweets, sugar. I don't mind if you do, I think that's awesome. It's just when I eat it, I feel really gross afterwards. I haven't eaten sugar in so long that my stomach bloats and it hurts. Now basically fruit is my dessert. But because I'm so adamant and passionate about nutrition, and people know that I really care about this and I really care about keeping my body fit and healthy, it's been somewhat humiliating to have gained so much weight and lost so much muscle and to change so much. It feels like I've gained a lot of weight, and now this is almost a reflection of how maybe I'm getting too lazy or I'm not eating healthy, and I'm scared other people will think less of me because of this. Just the other day, I ran into a girl I hadn't seen in a couple months, and she didn't even recognize me because I've changed so much. And that was like a knife through the heart, and it's not her fault at all, but it really hurts of how I'm not in control of this at all. I tried eating a little bit less just in case it was on my head, but I woke up in the middle of the night starving and feeling I was going to throw up. I tried weaning off both my medications. I'm on an antidepressant and a sleep medication right now because both of those are side effects of Lyme disease, and both of those medications have a side effect of weight gain as well. And so I tried weaning off of them because I tried to control it myself, and it didn't work, and I still need to take them. But lately it's been really hard not being in control of this, as the weight just kept on going up and up and I couldn't control it. I had to eat. Right now, food is energy for me, food is healing, and I need it to really overcome Lyme disease. A big side effect of Lyme disease is also that your hair starts thinning and you lose hair. My hair has gotten a lot shorter and a lot thinner than when I started treatment, and my hair was already thin, and I don't like that. I really want my hair to be about this length, but right now it's going the opposite way, and there came a point where I was like, I don't even want to film YouTube videos anymore. I don't even want to go out anymore. I don't want to see anyone. I don't want people to see me like this. And I know my face doesn't look too much different, but the rest of my body does. And it's been really hard for me to move past that and choose over my emotions every single day and just keep on reminding myself and captivating my thoughts that I am beautiful. As I've been going through this, as I've shared it with my mentors and my friends and my family, they've had some really good advice, and I think you also really need to hear it. First off, your body is temporary. My body right now is temporary for my season, because right now I'm hoping that as soon as Lyme disease is done, the water weight will come off, and then I'll be able to exercise and lose whatever other weight there is. But in general, our bodies only last while we're on earth. As soon as we're done here, as we go up to heaven, we are given new bodies. And there isn't much about these bodies in the Bible, but I've heard from a lot of other people who have had visions of what this will look like and their bodies. And I myself have had God show me what my heavenly body will look like. And I am beautiful, and I am wearing this white, gorgeous robe and have this long, full, shiny, curly hair. And I look beautiful, but I feel like instead of it just being the outward appearance, my looks in heaven will be reflected of my inner character and morals. So that is something that I'm definitely looking forward to during this season. I'm looking forward to the fact that this earth is temporary and that our real home is in heaven. The second thing is that beauty is a God-given trait to all of us. I had this light bulb moment the other day where I was reading this book and the author was talking about how God has given us beauty as one of our characteristics as He made us. The Bible says that we were made in God's image. And personally, I think God is one of the most beautiful people we will ever meet. And not only beauty in His outward appearance, but in His being and how He is so kind and loving and gracious. Basically, beauty isn't something that we have to strive after. It's something that's given to us and is there. It's a God-given trait. You don't have to have a good hair day. You don't have to wear the right clothes. You don't have to even be in a good mood to be beautiful in God's eyes. In His mind and in His perspective, you're beautiful 24/7 because that's how He made you. And this was so refreshing for me to hear and know, because for me, I felt like beauty was something that I had to strive and attain and earn. I've been blessed with a very conversational relationship with God. And just the other day, I was asking Him, what are you thinking about right now? And He responded with, how beautiful you are. And I know that is very cheesy and cliche, but my relationship with God is like a father-daughter relationship, like a best friend and another best friend. When He told me that, it felt like a dad telling me that, or a significant other telling me that. And it was just so refreshing and encouraging to know that that's how He sees me. I challenge you right now to ask Him, God, how do you see me? What do you think of me? And I'm sure that you'll be surprised at the answer. Another thing people have been telling me is that appearance isn't everything. 1 Peter 3:3-4 says, do not let your adorning be external, the braiding of hair and the putting on of gold jewelry, or the clothing you wear, but let your adorning be the hidden person of the heart, with the imperishable beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which in God's sight is very precious. This verse says that beauty literally lies in the hidden person of your heart. Hidden meaning that other people don't always see it. And another thing about this verse is that God sees beauty as precious. He sees it as something that He adores and that He admires. I think our beauty needs to be protected, but also broadcasted in some way. Protected meaning that you don't flaunt it and you don't let other people take advantage of it, but also broadcasted in the fact that show off your morals. Show the best version, the Jesus-like version of yourself to others. Like I said before, this is something that I still struggle with, and I'm still learning a lot. I feel like I've definitely overcome parts of it, but it's still something that, especially with social media, is really hard for me. But something that has helped me is not following the Instagram accounts of girls who are famous just because of their bodies. A lot of them reveal way too much to a lot of people. And the more you look at it, the more comparison you feel, and the more you feel like you have to be like them in order to be beautiful. So I've started unfollowing a lot of these girls, and it has helped. It has closed those doors of comparison and jealousy. The last thing that some of my mentors and friends have been telling me is that beauty is so much more than outward appearances. And I've kind of already hit on this, but honestly, I think everyone is a lot more beautiful when they smile and when they feel confident and when they laugh and when they are enjoying themselves. I also feel like people are a lot more beautiful when they're kind and they're gracious and they are a Jesus-like version of themselves. I think our world has tainted the view of beauty in a negative way. They have put beauty as a Victoria's Secret model and as perfect skin and a nice body and a nice smile. But all these things, like I said, are temporary and they're not true beauty. Alright, that's all I have to say on this topic for now, but I hope you enjoyed this video. It was definitely very raw for me to make, and I hope that it opened your eyes to a lot of people who are also struggling with this and how beauty is so much more than you think. If you haven't already, I'd appreciate it a lot if you hit the like, subscribe, and bell button to see more videos from me. I post new videos every Tuesday. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.